Back, not cooperating.
And we're live.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Memorial Day.
So I'm trying to line up the camera, but I'm having to look over here because it's a long story, which we can get into in a second. But I guess that's kind of lined up, right?
We're just seeing, it's good.
It's on the TV.
We're just coming up real quick. Say Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. We just put...
Check it in, make sure you know we're still here.
We just put some barbecue in the oven because we don't go outside because there's rattlers. You know, it's funny.
Rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes.
And rabid raccoons.
Our the guy that helps me with keeping the weeds out
we had
here.
bees.
Oh, we had bees and wasps. We weren't sure which. I need to post on Facebook. But he had told me that he had tried rattlesnake. He'd eaten it. He said it wasn't too bad.
It tastes like chicken. Everybody says that.
Everything tastes like chicken.
They asked some cannibals, what it tastes. That tastes like chicken.
So
people eat rattlesnakes, not me. No way.
Well, you know, I feel like it's instant karma. Like it would serve them right if people ate them because they're not exactly anybody's friend. Right?
He does our yard. He gives us a rattlesnake report. No rattlesnakes.
I think a lot of people wouldn't want to know, but I'm like, okay, did you find any rattlesnakes?
In theory, we supposedly had one time. Yes.
No, we did. I saw it.
You did see it.
Well, I saw a.
We had a snake come in the garage.
I saw a dead snake. That I assume it was a rattlesnake. I didn't get close enough to it to see.
Yeah. I'm
trying to figure out how to get the URL share.
We're trying to share. We're only on YouTube today. We're trying to share the place to tune in. You know, the link over on Facebook and whatever. But we're only on YouTube. A lot of times we do multi-social, but today is just YouTube. Just, you know, we don't plan on being here long. Just a quick little thing. And we're kind of circumcised today, if you will, because we've had a problem with our TV for a long time on the wall. We got an LG TV. It's almost 100 inches. It was like 89, 80. What is it?
86.
86-inch LG, and we're having trouble with the input jacks, to where one input out of 4 does not work. And then the TV randomly switches inputs where you have like your different HDMI inputs. It randomly switches back and forth, and the voice control comes on. The TV is basically possessed. So we turned around and invested in a Roku TCL TV, which we have in the studio. We used to have in the living room, was down the studio, and we've never really had any problems with it. We got one that was dead on arrival, and they replaced it. We've never had a problem with a Roku TCL TV. It's a very good TV. I recommend it. We've always had trouble with Vizios, but now we find out that LG TVs are shit. And for what I've heard, and this is our opinion, for what I've heard, other people also, in their opinion, have said that LG TVs are shit. So we turned around and invested a Roku TCL. It's 1 inch smaller. It's 85 inch.
85. It's only 1 inch smaller.
1 inch smaller.
It's not a big deal. Terry keeps telling me, well, to men, 1 inch is a big deal.
It is.
I'm like, it's 1 inch.
But it's got the built-in Roku, and we don't have to worry if the inputs ever go out. You'll still have your Roku because it's built in. See, the thing with the LG, the inputs goes out, and we don't have our damn streaming boxes, which, you know, we're big on streaming, and we're streamers ourselves. But the TV is supposed to be here this week, and may or may not be installed this week. But if that wasn't enough, bada boom, tell them what else happened.
So you guys who have seen us do the live chat here before, you might have realized, that at least we've told you before, that we have a monitor over the top of the fireplace that I can see in front of me. And then we have the big LG TV that's behind me that I can see when we're doing the live chat. And that's how I monitor the discussion and things like that.
Look here or look there, and the monitor on a fireplace mantle is like how big?
55.
55-inch, and
Right.
the LG is 86.
Right. So, and of course,
And the LG works with the inputs. One is broke, and then they keep switching on it. So, it's possessed. Like has Linda Blair in it, and we've got to get another TV. So we got that coming. It's supposed to be in this week.
And of course, because the 55 inches in front of me on the fireplace, that's the one I always look at. That's the one I always watch.
Yeah. They're both hooked up to the display of the computer at the same time.
Right. And so as soon as we bought the new one, all of a sudden the one on the fireplace died. So I'm looking at the 55-inch, which I usually use to monitor the chat.
Which, by the way...
And it's just a black screen taking up the wall, that's all.
We find out is a common problem, and that is the TV displayed a bunch of code.
Right.
And didn't display a picture, and we looked it up, and it's a common problem with a Toshiba with built-in Fire, Amazon Fire TV. So not only is LG a piece of shit in our opinion, so is Toshiba.
Which I thought when we got Toshiba, I thought we were coming up and that we were getting a
name brand.
We were getting a better brand TV.
But
we used
there
to
was
get
other
Vizio. Vizio's awful too.
Streamer people that said that LG and Toshiba are the two worst brands you can get. We've got them both, and they're both out at the same time.
Right.
So now we have to get something to the fireplace as well as install the TCL over there.
Yeah. Now we do have because we never throw anything away.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're going to need something.
Use it for second line purpose, repurpose.
We do have a backup TV that used to be on the wall here. That's in the garage.
And then it was on the studio wall as well.
It's a
Vizio.
I want to see 60-inch. I'm not positive.
Yeah.
But it's a Vizio.
60
and
or 65.
It has the reason it was retired is because it has a burn-in the screen. But it's not something you'd want to watch like TV or movies with, but it's fine for just being like a computer monitor that you don't use all the time. I mean, honestly, other than for YouTube live chats, the monitor that's above the fireplace, the only thing we use it for is we have like a clock up there 24 hours a day.
That's a big fucking clock.
Right. So.
But, in history of TVs, I've had, and this includes TVs and soundbars, problems with every Vizio I've ever had of anything they've ever made that I've ever bought.
Right.
And now, also Toshiba and LG.
Yeah.
So I do not recommend you buy a Toshiba, a Vizio, or an LG.
No, never.
So I get a TV, get a TCL.
But now, we're like, okay, well, let's figure out. We'll just use the Vizio that's in the garage for the monitor above the fireplace because all we use it for is chats and to be like a giant screensaver clock.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't carry it up the stairs myself. I can't even get the 55-inch Toshiba Fire TV off the fireplace because I can't lift it over my head. And, I could pull it down, but it would shatter onto the floor into a million pieces, and then we'd have cats dancing on glass. So I'm trying to figure out not only how to get this one on the wall replaced with the one that's supposed to be arriving Wednesday, and to be installed later this week, but also I'm trying to figure out how to get the one above the fireplace down and get the one in the garage up the stairs. I need some people with muscles to come over and help. I can't do it myself. So.
But our neighbor's lucky. We're going to give the LG to him, and it's a good TV. It works, except for the annoyance that you got 3 inputs instead of 4 because one's broke, and it'll randomly AVX from input to input, and the settings will change on you, and the audio guide will start talking. The TV will randomly start talking like it's possessed. Other than that, it works good,
Yeah.
But we're going to give that to the neighbor, and he's going to hopefully help us, except he's a rock star, and he tours with a group.
Quite literally, he's a rock star.
He is coming back now from Norway.
Must be nice. I'm so jealous.
And he's going to Washington, D.C.
I'm trying to not be jealous about it, but I am very jealous.
So we're trying to orchestrate this to include him and give him the TV because, they're great people. Let's cross the street. But we played his music on the station. He's really good.
Robbie Duran.
Robbie's got, like, bad management. I don't know who's managing him. I shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't say that.
He could be somebody. He's got enough talent. He should be on a fucking label and be on, America's Got Talent or something because he's that good.
Right.
I only say he should have better management because he really has star quality. He could be somebody. And, I'm not meaning to knock who's ever, he might be managed himself for all I know. Right. But if he had like the right PR and the right manager, he is just as good as anybody out there.
He is. He really is. Yeah. Okay, so I went live on my phone on TikTok as well.
Oh, okay.
Now, on TikTok, guys, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm using my phone and I have it sideways. So I don't know if you're seeing it right side up or if you're seeing it sideways. But
I hate that.
I know. But I normally use the iPad, and I was lazy and I didn't want to get the iPad out. We're simulcasting. We're on both YouTube and TikTok right now. So anyway, we're just popping in for a quick Memorial Day hello, and we wanted to talk about a couple of things.
Hopefully you got your barbecue going because we're eating late. We always
eat late.
We haven't got ours yet. We're coming. It's going to be barbecue, brisket, and baked potato.
Well, it's not brisket. It's barbecue beef. It's not brisket.
Well, what's the difference?
It's a different cut of meat.
I'm not Jewish. I have no idea what is the brisket.
It's like a round, like, what is it? What kind of beef is it? A round roast or something like that? But anyway.
Okay, it's a dead cow. All right?
Don't say that. Should I try to set it up? I don't know if I could set it up. See? It won't stay. No.
We don't have a holder.
We'll have to do it this way.
We have a clamp and we have a holder. But
People on TikTok, is it sideways? Tell me. I'm just curious. Because I know TikTok doesn't archive the video.
Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, follow us, hit the notification. Same thing on TikTok. We have many people on TikTok that watch, but you don't follow us. You need to please
also
follow us. It's getting better though.
Followers are getting better. We're up to I think almost 1,300 followers, but we want more. So please follow us.
We need so many to be able to monetize. We need that monetization.
Yeah.
Don't we? It helps out. Yeah.
It does help out. Every penny helps.
We got one check from YouTube. We're working on getting our second one.
So we wanted to talk because we're all about we're all about retro pop culture.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about. Well, first of all, I wanted to mention. I know that we did for those that listen to the radio show. We replayed a classic Craig Live this past weekend in tribute to George Wendt from Cheers, who passed away.
Who played Norm.
And
for
George,
11 seasons.
11 seasons.
Wow. On Cheers.
And George was a guest on our show back in 2012. I actually put the interview up on YouTube, and there was a lot of people that on Facebook and TikTok and stuff who had said that they had never heard the interview before and that they really enjoyed it, and they thanked us for putting it up there.
Is it on TikTok?
There is a teaser on TikTok that directs people to go to YouTube to watch the whole thing. So you can hear a teaser on TikTok.
It's too long to put on.
It's too long. It's like almost an hour, I think, if I remember right. But if you go over to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/dufonet, DUFOENET, and just look at all of our videos over there, you'll see it's like the most recent video that I had just put up, so you can check it out over there.
George was 11 seasons on Cheers, but also dabbled in horror a little bit. He did a Masters of Horror episode. He did the classic William Cat. We had William Cat on the show too. Movie House. I loved him in House. And he did something that was kind of strange. They took the movie Reanimator, they turned it into a musical, and that's what he's on for, to promote that.
Yeah. Graham Skipper liked and shared and all that kind of stuff. The post that I put up too.
He was on with George.
He was on with George. What is Ho-Ho is doing something behind my back. All I feel is something. I have a naked cat behind me. You guys may not believe me, but it's
better than a naked old man behind you.
Well, he is kind of an old man. Ho-Ho, what are you doing?
I mentioned naked old man behind you. I just got this visualization in my head. I don't want to think about. Oh. Okay.
So we wanted to mention that George Wendt passed away. We wanted to pay tribute to him. I didn't even hear about what happened. They just said that he passed away at the age of, what was it, 76, I believe?
I mean, we had George Wendt and Ed Asner on the show both. They were huge TV icons.
Yeah.
We had others like Cindy Williams and stuff, but those two still
Let me tell
today
you,
are played so much in
Cindy
syndication.
Williams, and for those of you who are watching us right now on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about, because on TikTok I'll post I'll do this day in pop culture history.
For those that don't know, we do pop culture history. We do celebrity interviews.
Yeah. But I had posted a This Day in Pop Culture History a while back, maybe like a week or two ago, that was the anniversary of the last episode of Laverne and Shirley airing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it blew up. Like, people loved that show, but also there was a lot of conversation and a lot of controversy about two things having to do with Laverne and Shirley. One was that the last season didn't have Cindy in it.
No.
She left.
Yeah.
And they still called it Laverne and Shirley, even though it was really just Shirley.
You sure? I don't think they call it Laverne.
No, because I posted posted on TikTok was I posted the opening credits to the show, and it was just Shirley. Even though they called it Laverne and Shirley, but they didn't change the name. They called it Laverne and Shirley, even though it was basically the Laverne show.
There was a constant battle between Cindy Williams.
Well, and that was the other point
and the production.
That was the other point of conversation,
Yeah.
is that everybody was speculating, why did Cindy Williams leave? And they were saying, pregnant. She was fired, she was this, she had a fight with Penny Marshall. And she was not fired. We interviewed Cindy Williams, and she told us right out what it was, and it was that she got pregnant.
And they wouldn't let her take any time off.
No, they wanted her to work up basically until she went into labor, and she wasn't about to have that.
They would hide her behind a desk or
So she quit the show because she wanted to be able to not work until she went into labor. So that was why she wasn't in the last season. But yeah, the last season it was just Laverne, and she went to California. But they didn't rename the show. The other thing, and I don't know if you know this.
She was married to Mark Hudson.
But they were saying that the house that Laverne had in L.A. when she moved to Hollywood in the last season, reportedly was the same house that was used in 2.5 Men.
Oh.
I didn't know that. That was an awful long time ago for it to be the same house.
It was a fancy beach house? 2.5 Men was a fancy house on the beach.
Well,
I don't think that's true.
It may not be true. I don't know for sure, but that's what everybody was saying. They were saying it was the same house. So, did you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to say we'll probably have a rerun this weekend or something, because we're not going to. We were supposed to do a new show, but the TV's coming and there's going to be people in the house and putting a TV on the wall and putting another TV on the fireplace, and we don't have time. So
honestly, I'm surprised we're doing a live chat tonight at all, because this week is going to be chaos. But
you're doing your genres. You want to 1 minute tell them what that is?
Yeah. So what I'm doing with this station is that every weekend now, and when I say the station, I'm talking about Cult Radio A Go-Go, which you can check out by going to cragradio.com.
Or Drive-In Movie Radio at drive-inmovie.com. 2 different stations, but they're going to simulcast. It'll be the same programming Friday through the end of Saturday night.
Right. So it's cragradio.com, cragradio.com, or drive-inmovie.com. They'll be simulcasting. And I've been doing themed blocks every week. So it usually, if it goes as planned, as it has been, usually it'll start Friday night at 11 o'clock p.m. and it goes overnight, and it's all themed blocks of themed programming. So like this coming weekend, it's going to be starting at 11 o'clock, and we're going to do I'm going to do a bossa nova block. A block of bossa nova music.
You got to do Weirdo Radio?
Not this week.
All right.
That'll be next weekend.
Really fucked up shit that we call Weirdo radio.
Right. That'll be next weekend. This
You're
weekend
a weirdo.
is going to be a block of bossa nova music. It's going to be a block of classic cowboy music.
Yeah.
And for the third one, I was probably going to do like a Golden Throats kind of a thing. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's celebrities that sang that shouldn't.
Like William Shatner.
Yeah, unless I come up with something else. But right at this point, that's what's planned. I'm just trying to get it in place early because, as we said, this week is going to be
Laverne and
chaotic.
Shirley put out an album.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did Lenny and Squiggy.
Yes.
Lenny and the Squig Tones.
Yep.
So a couple of other things. I don't know if you wanted to talk about them or not.
I'm not going to talk about VIX. We'll do that as separate.
Okay.
Video.
But did you want to talk about what we started watching last night?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our recommended pick of the week. Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, if you subscribe to the Friendly streaming service, which is a budget live channel service that is now like $9 or $10 a month. It used to be cheaper. Now it's like $9. It has been bought by the Roku channel, by Roku.
I'm still interested to see how this is going to turn out because Friendly, which is the cheapest streaming cord-cutting service out there.
And they got real good stuff. They got MeTV, they got MeTV 2, and they got MeTV Tunes, and a bunch of stuff like A&E.
Don't they have like catchy comedy stuff like that?
A lot of really, really good retro stuff. And you can get it in standard definition or 4K. It's a little extra 4K. You can get it with or without a DVR. A little extra for the DVR. Comes out to be like anywhere from, we get it for $7.
We get it for $7 because
you get as low as $7.
If you opt not to have the DVR, you can get it for cheaper. Other than that, the base pack is usually like $9 a month. But if you say you don't want the DVR, then it's $7.
Jim has them, but I'm not sure he knows about the $7 here.
I don't know.
Standard definition, no DVR is like $7.
Right.
A month. But they were bought by the Roku channel, which I thought they were owned by Philo, but I guess not, or maybe Philo sold it. I don't know.
Right.
But it's going to be owned by the Roku channel. Be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
But and then of course, Sesame Street was kicked to the curb by
HBO Max.
HBO
Max. Which I don't understand.
But Sesame Street, including most of the old original episodes, we had 2 original cast members. We had Julio, who played Julio, forget his name, the character's Julio. And we had Bob McGrath on. And the original episodes and new ones are now going to be on Netflix.
Yes. So what's your pick of the week?
Pick of the week is for HBO Max.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because even though they booted Sesame Street
and Looney Tunes,
Warner
Bros. Cartoons,
HBO Max is single-handedly bringing back the childhood of some people who are about my age, who grew up in the 80s and mid to late 80s, early 90s. Because a little upstart comic / actor / improvisational artist who started at the Groundlings, kind of gained traction at the Groundlings. Performance art, conceptual art by the name of Paul Reubens, kind of disappeared in early 80s because his alter ego emerged in the form of Pee Wee Herman. And he became vastly popular by doing a stage show, first at the Groundlings around midnight, and then at the Roxy Theater, sold out, just did gangbusters. Then HBO, even back then, which before they weren't even HBO, they were Home Box Office.
Remember that when they were called Home Box Office?
Yeah.
Back when they started?
They offered to go to one of his shows and record it so that they could broadcast it on HBO. And from there,
Roxy, right?
At the Roxy, yeah. And from there, it just took off. There was a movie, then that turned into a television show. And of course, now, decades later, especially people that are my age or older know and love the character of Pee Wee Herman. And it's really kind of gone full circle because if you're a fan of Pee Wee Herman, you know that unfortunately Paul Reubens passed away after battling cancer for 6 years in 2023.
It was the award-winning series. He did 3 Pee Wee movies.
Yep.
And started out, they wanted him to do it as a cartoon. He said, no, it needs to be a live action based on what he grew up with, which was Captain Kangaroo, Howdy Doody, all the great kid shows.
Right. So he had started a documentary and then handed it off to a filmmaker to finish it up for him, because everybody told him, don't make it your own documentary. You don't have any perspective. And this documentary filmmaker actually finished it posthumously after Paul had passed away. And it was just released on HBO Max.
40 hours of interviews he condensed down to,
yeah.
What, is it 2 separate 90-minute?
2 90-minute. It's a 2-part series. The
3
first
hours
is like
altogether.
an hour. Each one is like an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
So
it's over 3 hours.
It's over 3 hours. But that's not bad considering he had 40 hours of interview footage. And he's not just talking to Paul. He's talking to other people from Paul's life and career as well.
Miss Yvonne, Cassandra Peterson.
Miss Yvonne, Cassandra Peterson, Tim Burton, other people that were involved with Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Great archival footage. Not only you'd expect to see footage from the show. No, stuff before he did the show.
Yeah.
Even with the Groundlings, there's
and even before the Groundlings, back when he was because he was from New York, and then him and his family moved to Florida, Sarasota, and then he left Sarasota and moved out to California because he became a student at Cal Arts.
Yeah.
And that's where he really got into acting and, doing student films and things like that. And some of these student films are in the documentary, like early. I've never seen him so young. So we have not finished it, but we did watch the first part.
Oh, it was excellent. What was great is his battle with the filmmaker.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want, he was used to having control. He had not liked relinquishing control.
I love Paul. Don't get me wrong. I love Paul Reubens. I loved him as Pee Wee Herman. I loved him when he wasn't Pee Wee Herman. I loved him in everything he did. I think he got railroaded a lot, because of things that happened and came out in the news and all this stuff. But Paul was a control freak, and Paul wanted to be in charge. He wanted to be able to control how people saw him and saw the character. He didn't want to be known as, at least in the beginning, he didn't want to be known as Paul Reubens. He wanted to be known as Pee Wee Herman because that gave him a sense of anonymity. And that's why he wanted to do the documentary himself. And so when I feel kind of like against what he wanted to do, he handed it over to a filmmaker to direct it so that they would have perspective. You could tell that he was not happy about it because he didn't have control over it.
He battles with the filmmaker and argues with him all the way through. Not like viciously, but he would fuck around on camera. He would make faces, or he would get off the subject. The guy would ask you a question. The guy would be like, so you were blah, blah, blah. And he'd go, was I? Well, maybe I was. And then he'd say something and he'd go, no, I'm lying. No, maybe I'm not. Yes, no, I'm not.
But am I? And then he would do that.
Who are you or what am I?
He would do many of the things that he did
funny as hell. I didn't
Pee
think
Wee's
Paul
Playhouse
was as funny.
Or like, okay, like he would do that thing where you would cut off somebody talking. Like if you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Like say something. Like
what day is it?
What day is it? Oh, that. So.
But it's hilarious, and he actually quit. He just stopped producing. He said, I'm not doing this. And then he called up the producer like, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
But he really didn't like it, and you'll see that in the second part when they bring up his legal problems, which I won't get into. But he got in trouble more than once.
It's got to be one of the best. I mean, we've only seen
sexual things. We'll just say.
We've only seen the first half of it, but at least so far, it's got to be one of the best documentaries I've seen. You
really know him like you've never, and he did it because he wanted to set the record straight. Just like, for instance, when he died, there was a tweet that was posted that was in reserve or holding to be tweeted and posted when he died, thanking everyone for their support throughout the years and saying goodbye, basically. Thank you for watching and supporting my art. And that's what this is. He knew he was dying, and he wanted to set the record straight for rumors and people that never really knew who he was or what he was and what he was about, including the fact that both him and John Paragon, who's John B., were gay, not together, but gay.
Right.
And just revealed everything about his life, so there was no speculation.
Yeah, and I think that that's a lot of, because he did.
I don't know why there was a need. Like the thing I never understood about being gay, which is okay to be gay. Why do a lot of them feel the need to reveal it? Like, I don't go up to people and say, hi, I'm heterosexual.
I think
why do they think they need to tell?
I think with Paul, it was because Paul knew he was dying.
Yeah. Cancer.
And he had spent so much of his life, he even goes into this in the documentary, talking about how early on in his life and his career, he had a boyfriend, and he moved into an apartment with this boyfriend, and they had a cat together, and he had kind of lost his identity and his motivation because he was in a relationship. And at that point, he wasn't hiding who he was or anything like that. But when he realized that, okay, his focus was either going to be on being in a relationship or it was going to be on his career. And he broke up and he moved out. And there was kind of this thing, almost like a method actor. Like when Pee Wee Herman started to take off as a character, he realized that he could hide behind Pee Wee. And he even said in the documentary, he's like, in my early youth, he's like, I was out of the closet. He said, and then
hi, everybody. I like Pee Wee. I love Pee Wee so much.
And then he said, you know, when Pee Wee had a chance of becoming famous, he hid behind him. He went back in the closet. He didn't have personal relationships. If he did, he hid them. He didn't talk about his sexuality. Paul Reubens kind of ceased to exist. So I kind of feel like it wasn't that he felt like he needed to announce anything. I think he was concerned that if it came out or things came out after he had passed and he wasn't there to set the record straight, that would give other people the power to speculate and to say this and say that and say this.
Yeah,
and so he was always in control, and so he wanted to be in control even with passing away, to be able to say, no, this is who I was, this is what I was, this is who I loved, this is the choices I made. And
not only was he with another man, but he was with a black man of another race back in the 80s, wasn't accepted as it is now. It should have been accepted, no big fucking deal, but, you know, he had all that to deal with. And this whole banter between him and the filmmaker, one of my favorite parts is he started getting bothered about revealing about the gay thing. He says, about the gay thing, I'm not really gay. I just said that because I'm hungry
and tired.
And you're not letting me eat. And I figured if I said it was gay, gave you some drama or some controversy, you'd let me go and let me go
earlier.
Food.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, no, I'm lying. I am gay.
So
that's what it's back and forth.
Yeah.
Very interesting insight.
He was so funny. So complex and funny. And I think, like I said, he just always wanted to be in control of his image, and having a certain amount of anonymity allowed him to do that, which is why I think he wanted to do this documentary. Unfortunately, it didn't get finished until after he was gone, but at least he was involved with it. For sure.
If he would have lived, it may not have surfaced at the last minute. He'd have probably said,
forget it.
And then
never mind.
He talks about his battles with other cast members of Pee Wee's Playhouse that he thinks was jealous of him, and his fights with Tim Burton.
Yeah.
His fights with SNL, Captain Carl.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman.
Yep.
And probably John Paragon. I don't know. I mean, we had thought John Paragon was gay, but we weren't sure because we spent a long afternoon with Cassandra Peterson's husband. And Cassandra Peterson's husband,
Cassandra
Mark.
Peterson is Elvira.
Yeah,
Mistress
she
of
was
the Dark.
married at the time. Now she's with a woman and a lesbian. But at the time she's married to Mark, who wrote the Elvira theme. And we spent the afternoon at their house with him until she was available. And then we met her at a restaurant and had lunch with her and her husband. But her husband talked about his fight with John B. With not the character, but the actor that played John B., which we always had thought was gay, but we wasn't sure. But I'm sure of it in hearing what I heard from him, because he said they got in a fight, and he sent Mark a letter that just had typed over and over, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." That was John Paragon.
That was John Paragon. If you ever got a chance
Cassandra said she walked to a room, and there was Paul Reubens talking with Phil Hartman and John Paragon, and she had said to herself, "These people have to be my best friends."
Yeah.
And they were.
They were.
They were close.
We got a chance to see Paul Reubens, as well as John Paragon, as well as Miss Yvonne, redo their roles that became famous in Pee Wee's Playhouse, because back in the early 2000s, they had a live Pee Wee stage show that happened at the was it the Nokia? No, LA Live, at LA Live Theater in Los Angeles.
The Nokia Theater, or one of those theaters?
Yeah, it was one of them, and we got to go as press with the radio show, and it was magical. And he brought out Dancing Bear
from Captain Kangaroo. Come to find out that was his idol, Captain Kangaroo, which also was my idol, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Cassandra said in another interview, which is up on YouTube, that right up into his death, they would talk on the phone every night. And he would call her Elvira, she would call him Pee Wee.
Pee Wee. Because it was almost like, and I'm not saying it was, I don't think he was crazy, but it was almost like split personality disorder. Like, this Pee Wee is his own person.
He'd be on the phone all night, and she'd want to go to bed. She's like, "Paul, I'm tired." He's like, no, only take like 4 or 5 more hours of the phone. But she couldn't believe that he, and he told her that I'm dying. She knew.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe it. I can't believe it.
Only close friends of Paul's knew. And some close friends didn't even know.
He did it with dignity. I'm not, if I don't make it, I'm not going to be so dignified. I'm going to be, fuck it, fuck you, fuck this. I'm going to be angry. Okay?
I have to baste our barbecue.
Okay, well, we need to go, because I'm out of stuff to talk. And it's colder than hell.
There is something to talk about, but I think we're going to hold on to that, because I was going to talk about...
And there's nobody here tonight, because it's
Memorial Day. The other thing I was going to talk about is Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that and try to get Sai Baba.
We'll hold on to that, because there is...
major crazy shit going
on. And the first part of the 2-part finale aired last week. So the second part of the finale airs this coming Saturday, and then it's over. Season 2 with Ncuti Gatwa is over.
And our point is Disney is influencing them too much, because Doctor Who, the current episode, is just like WandaVision and Once Upon a Time, and they're becoming too Disney, and they're losing their own fucking identity.
Oh,
watch it, you'll see.
Rick Bowden is in YouTube. He says, "Greetings. Did the good captain ever say that he and Mr. Green Jeans enjoyed a joint from time to time?"
I wouldn't doubt it. Buffalo Bob owned a liquor store.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
So, are we still...
Of course, Bob Keeshan came from the Howdy Doody show. He was Clarabelle.
Yep. And that's what I was telling you last night.
What's weird? We talked about Rick is there because he watches Rob Word.
Yeah.
That when we started, like, what are you poking me for?
You have hair.
Oh, I thought you were signaling.
No, I'm getting hair.
When we started, okay, I started on broadcast radio. Going to be my 50th year next year. Been on internet radio 25 years. We started as a team, a father-daughter team on internet radio. And nobody was doing it. Now... Everybody is doing father and son, or father and daughter. Rob Word's doing it with his son, and that movie critic, I forget his name, is doing it with his kid, Leonard Maltin, and everybody's doing it with their kids. I guess maybe I started something.
You started.
I did it first. Now other people doing it with their kid. I guess I'm not the only one who likes my kid.
Depends on the day.
You know why they're doing it?
Why?
Because they're older and they figure if they keel over. And Roseanne
Barr
is doing a live chat, kind of a blog thing with her kid. Everybody's doing it with their kid, and they're doing it in case they keel over, their kid can keep it going.
Yeah. Rick says, good to see you, Terry. Glad to hope that you're feeling better.
And I appreciate you saying you missed us. That's really why we came on tonight.
But I still need
now you're here, we have to leave now.
I still need to baste the barbecue.
Yeah. Need to rub your meat.
I need it. Nobody does it better than you. Make me sad for the rest.
Yeah.
That's what Rick says.
Well, thank you.
Rick is very complimentary. Like, he'll say a lot of things that I actually...
He can make me feel good when I feel like shit.
I feel, like, egocentric. Like, even reading Rick's comments sometimes, I'm like, oh, yeah, we're awesome, kind of a thing.
Don't forget, we have 6. Count them. Here. Okay, this many fingers. I taught this, I learned this in kindergarten. This many fingers. 6 radio stations, which is Cult Radio Go-Go, commonly known as Crag, Horn Halloween Radio, called the HHRN, Christmas at the Drive-In, As Heard on TV, and Old Timer Radio, and the brand, which is old, radio dramas and comedy, Old Time Radio. And brand new Drive-In Movie Radio, which is our legacy station and most of our host shows, 24/7, various places on the website. Just go to cragradio.com, cultradiogogo.com as a portal to go to everything else, find out where we're streaming. And then we have 2 live channels on Roku, which is called TV A Go-Go and The Last Drive-In. And various other Roku apps as well. And we also have apps on Apple and Roku for all 6 radio stations.
I'm going to close down TikTok. So bye to everybody on TikTok. Please hit the follow button on TikTok and follow us for when we go live again. And also
don't forget to like your TikToks.
The This Day in Retro Pop Culture videos that I post. I've fallen off a little bit the last day or 2, but that's
wish us luck as we get our new TV installed.
So bye TikTok. We're still on YouTube for a few minutes, but
so are you?
No, still talk.
I'm here.
Okay.
We're getting ready to
rub our meat.
I was
just closing TikTok.
We're going to have our barbecue for Memorial Day. But anyway, like I said, this weekend, I don't know what we're playing. We're going to be playing the genre, little mini made-up stations you don't normally hear that are like, old crouchy radio and other ones, stuff like that. And then as far as what we do, I don't know what we're doing. We'll see. But we're kind of busy this week with having people out here installing new TVs. We're going to install 2 TVs, one in the fireplace, one on the wall. And wish us luck. Remember, stay on an alley trying to get that piano up the staircase.
Pretty much. It's going to be like that. Well, I don't know.
We have a staircase like that.
We're on a hill. I'm clumsy.
At the top of a mountain, and we have a spiral staircase out front. They have to.
Rick wants to know when we're planning on doing our next live. See, normally we've been doing Thursday night. See, Rick, if you get a chance to go back and watch the beginning of this video.
Click the notifications on YouTube, you'll be notified. That's all I can tell you.
But if you go back and watch the beginning of this video, you'll hear us talk about, we have a crazy week coming up. We have 1, possibly 2 TV installs because 1 TV we purposely are replacing, and the other TV just happened to blow out at the same time, and I can't lift either one of them. So one of them we need to replace with a TV that's in our garage, but I can't carry it up the stairs myself, nor can I lift it above my head. And then the other is we just bought. So
TCL 65-inch, not 65, 85-inch TCL Roku TV.
Yeah.
We're going from an 86-inch TV down to an 85, and I'm losing an inch, but when you get older, that happens. You didn't get the joke.
What?
When you get older, you lose an inch. Because it kind of shrinks.
Well, Rick was saying don't break your back, and I'm not, because I can't carry it at all. Like, I have bad knee. I'm getting old now. So I have to find people that can help. Because
I'm only 68. I'm not 70 yet.
Well, you know what's made me sad is I listened to the Crag Live that we played this past weekend when we had George Wendt on our show.
From Cheers.
And I was like, oh, I'm 28. And I was like, I was 28? I was like, I'm going to be 42 this year.
Everyone was 28 at one time. Or
it just feels so long ago.
Best wishes to two people that's very ill. One had brain surgery. The other one's going to. One is Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge family. The other that's going to have it is Billy Joel.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, one did have, and the other one's going to have. Billy Joel's going to have brain surgery. He cannot walk, and he has trouble talking. They have to put something in his brain, bring a tube down into his chest, because it's something that they can cure, but it's like something wrong with the brain. And Danny Bonaducci and Partridge Family, the same thing. Yeah. And I don't know what's going on, but it used to be old people got things. Now people that are my age or younger are getting things.
Well, and
people
it's creeping
from
like
50
we
up
talked about.
To 60s.
It used to be
70s,
we would especially because we would book guests for our show.
Yeah.
And it was guests that were from the 1950s and 60s that were like older and they were sick and
or people in their 70s and 80s. Now it's people in their 50s. And
now
60s.
It's edging down into people that were known in the 70s and the 80s.
Because people are not living as long.
Yeah. So.
But they're literally going to have to run a tube from Billy Joel's brain down into his chest. He cannot perform.
As far as posting warnings when we're going to go live, we do pre-schedule, but usually we only pre-schedule like 30 minutes before because a lot of times we just don't know.
And it's always late at night.
Yeah, but
we're not morning.
If I'm able to post it earlier than that, but we usually do post it like 30 minutes before.
Like I said, best thing is click the notification bell and you'll be notified. Because we
don't
know until
live
we do
on
it.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Because he says I've changed my life. Oh, his life was changed by a carnivore diet. Huh.
So you don't eat meat,
He
right?
said no carnivore. He only eats meat.
Only eats meat.
Yeah, he said he was very sick, and it was a miracle. He's gotten remarkably
better. Yeah, because you tried
now.
not eating meat. You got so sick.
I didn't do it right. I did it when I was a teenager, and I wasn't getting enough protein, and I got very sick off of it. So, yeah. Okay. And congratulations, Rick. I think you said that there's a new baby coming. Your daughter having
Fantastic.
a baby. So congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you like grandpa for the first time, or? That's awesome.
Carrie wants to be a grandpa. I got him grand cats. I'm like, no.
To do artificial insemination.
Grand cat.
We could get you together with Ghosty.
Ghosty would have to actually leave New York.
He could come here, and I'd sit downstairs and watch TV, and he could give me the grandchild. I wouldn't want to hear that, though. Ghosty'd be screaming like a little bit. Ghosty's live on WFDU this Sunday. It's noon till 3 Pacific and 9 till noon on the East Coast. It's going to be a tribute to James Bond and 60s spy music and two guests that wrote James Bond books. Yes. Well, tune in.
Tune in. And then our show will probably either do a relay of drive-in movie or we'll do a classic Craig Live. I'm assuming we're not going to have to put together a new radio show.
Normal stuff.
But we will have our theme blocks.
Well, our stations are on 24/7. Doesn't matter what we're doing.
That is true. All right. My meat's going to burn. So I have to go.
I hate to tell our friend good night.
I know, Rick. I'm sorry.
We have to go rub our roast.
We do. All right. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. We will see you guys next time. Not this week, but hopefully maybe next week.
Here's to all our troops that served, including my brother up in heaven, and those of you that have a service band or had a service band in your family or do now, and they're still with you even if they're gone. I mean, to them, you know.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Good night, everyone.
Night.